stampingwithdi.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad that you're here. This is the last Mimeograph Monday of 2021. How's that? That year just flew right on by, didn't it? So I want to welcome you to my channel. I always say hi. I try to keep one eye on what I'm doing and one eye on the computer so I can see if anyone has any questions. If you ask something, I miss it, just ask again. And then you can always ask it below once the video isn't live anymore, and in the chat, so, or in the comments or whatever, right? So I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So I'm originally from Canada. So if we have any Canadians on here, hello. So I'm still Canadian, but I live in America. So I love to see all the comments from all over the place, right? That's what's so great about YouTube, that we can connect no matter where we live, right? All right, so I'm gonna do a cue card using one of the new stamp sets. But before I do, I thought maybe you would like to see the Christmas cards, the handmade Christmas cards I got for Christmas. I'll go quick with them so I don't take a lot of time. And I won't say names just because of the privacy issue. I don't want anyone, I can share my stuff, but I don't want to put people's names out there. So anyways, all right, so I'm going to flip the phone and we will get started. So hey, Candy, Teresa, Nancy. Oh, we've got two Nancys here. All right, so let's see here. So yeah, so hopefully that's okay if I share, because now we got lots more than this, but I'm just sharing ones that were handmade. All right, so look how cute this one is. And there's lots of embossing going on there. And you might even see your card on here, but like I said, I'm not going to say names, just for privacy. All right, love it. And then look at this fun one. So this is a bridge card. So it folds flat to mail. And then when you get it, you set it up like that. So see, isn't that cool? Very, very nice. All right. The candy canes. Now remember, the candy cane is retiring. So you want to make sure that you grab that when you can. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Mary Ellen. Oh, is it chilly? Ooh, Washington. Now, is Washington cold too? We're overcast again today. I mean, I have my long sleeve shirt on. Look at this one. Oh, so this has got a little bit of stamping, as well as this is almost like toll, like paper toll, because it's got all the different layers. So Jeff really gravitates toward that one because it has the animal on there. So love this one too. They were also like, in some of them I'm like, oh, I might have to use the layout ideas or color ideas. Just, I love getting handmade, because I do. Even if like this is not Stampin' Up, but I still totally can get an idea from it. My fingers, look at this. You can tell I used yellow today. All right, here's another one. Nice oversized card on this one. So this is kind of neat because it's got an embellishment here, but it's flat, so it doesn't catch in the mail. So that was pretty cool. Love this one with the bubbles. Bubble, 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 bubble. Here's another one. Now remember, this stamp set is coming back, so you want to make sure that you grab it now if you want to work on your stamp set or your Christmas cards throughout the year. Here it is again, with different colors. Love those pink berries. Oh, the windshield. Oh my gosh. It's enough here where I am. I love this one. And this has the paste. So these are raised. So these look like snowballs, snow, but you can feel them. There's a texture to them. So see that? They're like raised. Love that. I love this one with the reindeer, and he's got like a bow on him. Very fun. So I'll just go quick. I love this one. I just was like, oh, so I like this, right? It's got some DSP on it, but they just used a small piece You could get so many cards, and that totally is a Christmas card, even by just using that little bit of DSP. Now look at this. This is a motion card. So watch, you pull that, and then they flip over. Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh. I love that. Even it has a little thing there. So cute. And here's the one with the little critters. Yes, Rhonda. Oh, so much talent. Oh my gosh. And here's one here. And I can't remember. I think I might have shown some. So if your card, if you don't see your card, I might have shown it already. So cute with the stockings. How cute this one is. So I love all Christmas cards, but it's fun when they're handmade. So this has got, it looks like the log, but it made it look like tinsel back there. So that was very cool. And I loved this one in gray. Oh my gosh. Hey, Lily. And then the last but not least, this one here. So cool. So anyways, but that's those there, that because those ones I hadn't shown. All right. Now let me put that over there. So what I also going to show is very, very quickly, I did the rest of my paper pumpkin. So some I made just like normal, some are changed. So I'm going to go quick through these too. So I don't think I did anything different with that one. So I just have all the cherries kind of together. And these are just going to be used, you know, for thank you cards and stuff like that. Now this one, what I did do was, this is just an extra little piece of brown and white. Remember I talked about it the other day? I just tacked it on the bottom of the little scallops, and it made it look totally different. So to me, it kind of reminds me of like ice cream shop or whatever. I also changed the ribbon. So it came with this kind of twine. I used the red and white, which comes from the fan baker's twine. So you can see, you know, just adding that little bit different, changes it just a little bit. Hey, Karen. All right. And then I had to do, I don't think I only did one sad one, and I just changed this one. I'm sorry, that's the pits with the little heart. So fun. So those were all the cherry ones. And then these are all this one that is the toast and the eggs. So this one, I changed it to be a toast to your success. I loaf you. And then this is that little piece of blue that you pop out of here. I put behind the vellum, so it made it look more like a plate or like a doily on the plate. So it's kind of hard to see in the video, but you can see it in real life better. And then I think I showed this one last week. So this is one where I added some of the mold little polka dots to the bread. So the other ones are very similar too. I don't think I put mold on all of them. So see, I did the same thing. I added that little stripe, and then here I did it with the red, just to add a little bit of color, because you hate to throw those pieces of paper away. And I still have all of this left. Like these are all of my pieces left. So I can just, you know, pull out cardstock and make some more. All right, so here are the, I want to find one that, where's the one that's supposed to be? Okay, so this is kind of how it was supposed to be. So cute with the little glasses. So then I can't remember who I saw did this. So then I think it was Monica. But and then just leave that plain, so then it looks like a flower. And I just put the little happy face on it. And then I changed this one to hello, thanks a bunch. Then I put a few bananas like you would see on your counter. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Karen. I already said hey, Karen, didn't I? And then celebrate. Go bananas. The bananas are so fun. And this stamp set, this is staying on my desk because there's so many cute sayings. And I love the font. I totally love the font. I wish I could print like that. And then these ones were pretty similar. So I just said, hello, have an excellent day. And I didn't put a face on it. I just left it as an egg. And then this one, I added the toast. So it's very similar. I just added the toast. Now, I need to look today, but I think if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, unless they're out of them, you can get the refill. But those refills will go quick if they haven't already. So if you're wanting a refill, you need to hurry on that. All right, so let's see here. All right, don't forget, December the 30th is the last day to sign up for the DSP share. $30 for one, $50 for two. Now I'm going fast because I'm trying to remember everything to tell you. All right. Do not forget, the end of the month is also coming in regards to goodies or guts. So when you order 75, you can pick either the goodies or the guts. And I added a new design in the calendars that you can pick from. So make sure you go to my blog, and I've got pictures of the different calendars you can choose. Also, December 31st is the early registration for, hey Jackie, the early registration for our virtual spring social. So you don't want to miss that. That's in March. All right. And this is a hostess code. So I have so much stuff. It's Monday, right? I usually try to say all the stuff. And last but not least, happy birthday to my little sister Jackie, if she's watching. Sometimes she pops in. She might be celebrating, her birthday instead. All right, so let me get all the stuff going now. All right, so thank you all. You allowed me to share all that. All right, so I'm going to be using the new Wildlife Wonder. And you know me, I love to color. I love to sit in color, but oh my gosh, this is a very cool set, and it's one that I will always keep. Just because it's got animals on it, and my husband, he's a hunter, and, he's a guy, so he likes, the masculine-y, kind of stamp set. So I'm using that. Let's see what else I have over here. It also uses the die from Garden, and there's like little grass. We're using beautiful trees for the tree, and then stitched rectangle as well. All right. I'm also using the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. So if you haven't used watercolor paper, just get a pack of this and just play around with it. It is so fun and it is so cool. All right, so let me get my thing going here. Now what I want to do is I want to get my watercolor paper done first so that it can kind of sit a little bit. So let me get my piece. All right, so the card is going to be Misty Moonlight and a bone folder. All right, so we've got Misty Moonlight, and then here it is. So what I've done is I have just cut out with the rectangle on my watercolor paper. And I'm just going to add some color to it. And now you can squeeze the pad. You know how you squeeze the pad, you get all the ink on it, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And I have a mess here because that's why it's all over my hands. Because when I'm going to be doing this, I always just squirt refill in the lid. And then when I was cleaning up, I totally forgot to clean that out before I closed the lid, so we had it everywhere. But hey, it's either glitter or ink. Okay, so this is just one of our silicone sheets, and I just cut it into 4 squares. See our silicone sheet? I just cut it into 4 squares. And this is just like a cotton that you would use for your fingernails or whatever. And we're using the water painters. Hey, Virginia. Now, I So I'm changing the one that I'm showing you here, and then I'll show you the one I finished, just because some of the colors they were commenting on, like, I don't see that color. So then you can tell me which one you like the best. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your water painter, and you wanna wet the watercolor paper before you add the color, or the color just soaks right in. So we're just gonna take our water painter, and I'm wetting the paper, and then I'm coming over and I'm getting my ink, and I have just put refill drops in here. And then I'm just letting it lightly touch the paper, and then it moves that ink around. So we're just getting that bumblebee all on the watercolor paper, and then it moves around because that you have added that water. So it just lets you play. So I'm just kind of tapping it, and the water that I put on the paper will actually pull that water around. So I'm not trying to touch too heavy, just in case, because if you get too much ink on your thing, there's so much pigment, you get too much lines. So let me show you. Did I throw one away? Hold on a minute. I threw it away because I was messing around and I might have tossed it, but it was too streaky. So you just want to, just be very gentle with it and let it move. And then what I would do is I would take it over and I would air dry it, just let it dry on its own, or just use your heat gun. But I have one that's all right. So then I just squeeze paper or whatever. And then, I don't know what I do with my lid, but anyways. All right, so I'm just going to, before I close, because I would do a whole bunch of these, I mean, instead of wasting that ink, but just for the video, because see, I have it all over there. All right, then you get a baby wipe and wipe your fingers, because you're going to get it on everything else. All right, so let me wipe my fingers. Okay, dry, dry, dry. Okay, so then this one I did earlier, and then it's already dried. So they had, the colors they showed were Calypso, and I used it, and I'll show you the finished one, the one to compare, and it seemed too red. I'm like, that doesn't look right. Now, we all know that when you take a photograph of something, the colors look different than in real life, right? So, and that totally could be what's up, or my pad was inked too much, whatever. So I chose to use cinnamon cider instead. So I'm using cinnamon cider. And now this is all the way dry. Remember, you want it to be dry. If it's still wet, when I stamp on it, that water will pull. Right? Just like it did when I had my water painter and pulled the color out. It will do the same thing when you stamp. So this is all the way dry. All right, so this is just cinnamon cider. So we're just putting that on the bottom. Now I flipped this image over so that they're not identical. So we've got our dirt happening there. Now I'm washing it because we're going to use the same stamp, but this time I'm going to use soft suede. So we're going to use soft suede now, and we're just going to put these, kind of overlap them, and we're just making a scene. All right. Close the pad. All right. And then, hang on a minute, I'm closing my pads. I'm going to do my bear. Now, they also mentioned shimmery, and at first I'm like, what the heck did they use shimmery for? And I think they did shimmery with the bear. So that's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing. Now, the bear, I'm using Early Espresso. I love this set. Oh my gosh. So this is what's called Distinktive. And it just has so much detail. And, oh, it just stamps so cool. Look at that bear. Oh my gosh, all the highlights, the lowlights in one stamp, right? It's just ingenious how they do that. Now, if you have trouble with these, hey, good morning, Brenton. You want to make sure that you don't have too much ink on your stamp. So that is one of the tricks. You don't want to have an overly inked ink pad. All right, so I'm going to let that dry a little bit. All right, so let me get this back. Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to stamp my greeting. Hold on a minute. Hold on. All right, so this is just basic white. And I could have used shimmery, you know, but they use basic white somewhere. So that's why I'm using it. All right, so I'm just using the You Mean So Much to Me. All right, let that dry. I do have a piece for the inside. All right, let's see here, 3 3/4 by 5, because when I cut that, so I forgot to do this. When I cut out the die, so here's the size of the watercolor paper. So I cut out the die and I just kept it as straight as I could. So then I'll have this piece to use and whatever. So I want to use this little piece right down here. And I'm going to do the same thing. So where's my bumblebee? So I'm going to, so this is what I did. I have my bumblebee and my refill. And I just put a couple little drops. And this is just easier to me than squeezing the pad over and over and over and over. If you're just doing one card, that's fine. But this is quite a lot of ink, right? When you're doing like a wash, basically what this is. So you're really putting a lot of color down. It's just easier to use the refill. So I'm going to wet this just like I did the card. And I'm going to come over here. And I'm just going to lightly touch my, there. And then we're just going to let it dry. We're just going to let that dry. And that's just going to go on the inside of my card so that I've got something going on in there. All right, so let that dry. And if it's not dry by the end, I'll just show you the finished one. All right. So watercoloring can be dirty, but I love to do it. I love to do it. All right, so let's bring this back over here. We also are using my trees. Where are my trees? All right, so we have grass. Grass. Oh, did I leave my trees? I think I left my trees over at my cutter. Hold on a minute. Oh, hold on a minute. Yes, they're over here. Heavens to Pete. All right. So here's my 2 trees, and they're going to go on here. Now, it also mentioned the foam adhesive sheets, and I tried them, and they were just too thick. So I just left them plain, and I'm just going to glue them with green tip glue. All right, let me get this off here. And I'm going to bring this over because these trees are going to overhang my card. And then this way, any glue will just go in the silicone. All right, so we're going to just use the green tip. Now, what I probably could have done was the adhesive sheets, not the foam. But I'd already cut them. So like if I was going to make a whole bunch of these cards, I would use the adhesive sheets. But I found the foam just too thick for the little tiny tree. All right. So then we're going to put our tree. So we're just basically, we're making our scene now. So we're just going to put our tree on there. Oh, Janice. Yeah, so if you just wet the paper, now if you are, and that's like to get the wash, right? Now, if you're coloring in something, you still want to add some water first. Probably not as much as I did for the wash because I was really wanting that color to move around. And I like our water brushes because there's 3 sizes. All right, so it's just going to go in there. There's 3 sizes, so you have a big one. So I really could have used this one. This one has alcohol in it because I use them for other things. But see, it has that big. So this would have been great for the wash. This one has rubbing alcohol in it for a technique. All right. And then there's this one. So there's a small one I used. So small, medium, and large. Now, one thing that's different is to open and close them, you turn the opposite way, right? Like we're used to going like this. You turn the opposite to open and close them. So anyways, all right. So I just have several pairs. All right. So we have our trees on here. So cute. All right. Then I also have the grass. Now this is the little grass that came from the garden die, and that is a brand new one that isn't out yet. Unless you're a demonstrator, you won't be able to get that till January when the mini catalog goes live, because that's where this came from. But we could very well have grass, you know, and other things, but that's where this one came from. All right, so they're super cute with the little tiny grass sprigs. So same with the bear. So the bear is also not available yet unless you're a demonstrator. You can add all of these things I'm showing to a starter kit, so you don't have to wait till January, because that's what's fun is if you decide to join while we have a pre-order period, you can add pre-order stuff to your kit. So it's super cool. All right, so we've got our little grass at our trees. So fun, right? Okay, so then let me get our bear. He should be good and dry. And I'm just going to fussy cut him. When I find my scissors, I want these as well. I'm like, where did I put my scissors? I probably put them away. All right, here's my little, I have a few pairs on my desk, so I must have put them away. All right, so we're just cutting the bear out. Super easy. We're leaving a little bit of a white border around him. Or her. Maybe it's a her. I don't know. All right. But isn't this such a cute set? Oh my gosh. The little nose. Easy to cut out. Not like a whole bunch of detail and nooks and crannies to get into. So I love that. So Jeff is going to love this card. Whenever he gets home from work, usually he's home. He's probably home now. So he usually is home. So when I'm finishing up, he's usually here. And then I go, look what I did. Because I usually close the door so he doesn't come in when we're doing my videos. Just in case. All right. So here we've got our cute little bear all cut out. Then we also, I think my fingers are dirty again. Then we're going to cut out this thing. And then we're just going to put it together. All right. So this is all the way cut around. So we have two me. And I love the font on this set as well, because it's got like typewriter, like an old typewriter, and then writing. And I love printing and writing together. So you mean, and now that had an angle to it. So I cut that at an angle. So what's fun about doing with the scissors, I think it makes it even more like fun if it's not all like perfect, like, you know, if you use a die for your greeting or whatever, it just makes it even more custom. All right. Then we're going to put our little bear on here with some dimensionals. Let's put this on our card. How would we do that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all of these little sprigs of tree, or do I leave them like this? So this would make it be a little bit different. than the card. So I think I'm going to do that. So this is going to be a little bit different than the card. And like I said, like when I do the first one, like it says, and then I go, okay, now I'm going to try something different, you know, when I do the next one. And I think we're all like that, right? We are all artists in our own right. All right. So now we've got this. So then to me, it almost looks like the dark sky around here. And then all I'm going to do is turn this over. And any little bits of tree that overhang, I'm just cutting them off. And then they won't catch in the envelope. But they go outside of that middle scene by doing it this way. So see? So those trees kind of grow out of this middle scene area. All right, so let's get back to our bear. And I'm going to put him on with dimensionals. Oh, you know what, Deborah? I do. I have a sign. Hey, McKenna's here. I do. I have like a do not disturb that hangs on the door, and then I just close the door. I was like, it'd be cool if you had like on air, right? Like that would light up or whatever. So he knows like when the door is closed, but there's a do not disturb sign that hangs there, which is too funny. Now, what before the studio door got crazy mangled, I just closed the studio door. But my studio is off the laundry room, so I just closed the laundry room. All right, so we're putting our little bear on. Look how cute. All right, then we are going to put baby dimensionals on the greeting because I want the little, you mean so much to me. Where's the babies? Here they are. I want them to be as high as the bear. Like I don't want my greeting to be sunken down. I want my greeting to stand out as much as the bear does. So I'm going to put baby dimensionals on my greeting. All right. And then you just got to make sure you put them on in the right order. All right. So let's start from the bottom so we don't run out of room, because if you start from the top, work down, you might get too close to the bear butt and you don't want that. All right. So we're going to go to me. And then so much. So this is a perfect card for Jeff. All right. And then the you mean. So they're just staggered. You mean so much to me. Just staggered. Very cool. And then we have these awesome rocks. They're not rocks. They're pebbles. Enamel shapes pebbles. Oh, an Asian art feel by extending. Oh, that's it. That's cool, Jackie. Then yes, that's why I did it. Oh, all right. So we're going to put our rocks. So these are so fun. I've been having so much fun with these. So I definitely think we will be having rocks in our spring social package for sure, because they are adorable. And we've got the flower set, so they'll work great. All right, so I'm just putting pebbles around. So there's gray granite. I think it's like basic gray granite, and probably crumb cake. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so super fun. All right, so let's see if, I want to make sure I've got the right piece, if this is dry yet. Yep, all right. So this is dry. So this is that little piece that I did earlier. And then that way the inside of the card will pretty much match. I wonder if I picked the wrong one. Hold on a minute. I cut this smaller. 3 3/4 by 5. Because look at how crazy I was when I cut that. I didn't cut that very good in my haste. So let me trim this. Hold on a minute. I'm going to make this smaller. All right. So we're going to make this be just a little bit smaller. Because, see, I should have went further. I wasted this little bit of space and that little bit of space, which changed the size of this. But that's all right. I trimmed the other one and no one will be the wiser. Okay, so unless they watch the video, now we're just going to use the green tip glue to glue this on the inside of the card. So this has, it's so cute, right? Because it has that same color as the front of the card. And it's got the stitching, right? Because the stitching is on both sides when you do the die. So it stitches on the inside and it stitches on the outside. So I hate to waste this, right? Because you've got those cute stitches. So don't throw these away. You can totally use them. So now the inside matches the outside. Trim, trim, trim. And then I'm going to put the inside greeting, and it's going to say, "To a great guy." And look how fun with that writing and the printing on that greeting. Oh, love it. So to a great guy. I probably should have did that before, because now I'm going to need to let it dry a minute. Dry, dry, dry. Let me clean my mess up. Let me push some of this stuff out of the way while that dries. Oh, hi, D Bald. So Florida, you are 3 hours, right? 3 hours different now? All right, that should be good and dry. So let's put this on the inside. My glue. So put this on the inside of our card. And then I'll show you the difference between the two. Because remember I changed it a little bit, just briefly. All right, so here is the inside and the outside. So here's the other one. So this one used the Calypso because I just had my recipe. So what I do is I hold my recipe and I go to my cardstock cabinet and my inks and I just pull everything out. Just like we were making a sheet of cookies, right? You need your flour and your sugar. Same idea. I get my cardstocks and all that kind of stuff. And then I stamp. And I was just like, well, this looked awful red and I didn't care for it. Now, it doesn't look too bad on the video. And that could be what happened in the photos, right? It just looks different. But I didn't care for it. So that's why I thought, well, let me try the cinnamon. And I preferred the cinnamon because to me it looked a little more dirty, you know, like dirt. Let's see. And then there, yeah, you could see the difference in the trees. So these trees I cut, you know, directly. These trees, I tried to drag them a little bit on the ink pad to put a little bit of color, and I didn't do that, you know, this afternoon. But, I need to tweak that a little bit, but so, and then the inside. Inside's the same. This one's just to cut a little smaller. And the stamp has other cute critters. I'm like looking for the stamp set. Where it is. Here we go. Which I totally might stamp. Because look at, I only mounted what I was using. So I still need to mount the other ones. But I might put some of the critters, the other critters on the inside. Because don't you think that would be cute? To put that wolf down here in the bottom. In the early espresso. I think that would look really cool. Or even the owl, you know, up in the corner. So this is a definitely cute stamp set. And so hopefully when you can order, if you're not a demonstrator, you will get it. So I'm not able to put recipe, like the links right now, because they aren't. It's not live. It's not a, oh, thanks, Carol. It's not a live item number. So I can't put that recipe, right? That shows you usually you can click on to order. So that's why, those recipes aren't there underneath the video or on my blog, because that number's not there. But anyways, but like I said, if you need, if you're thinking, you know what, I'm just going to put all this stuff in a starter kit and join your team, yay, then just holler at me and then I can give you all the item codes that you need. I can just call you and I can just give you the item codes and help you get your starter kit all figured out. Because then you wouldn't have to wait, till January. But I love how these turned out. I can't wait to give one to Jeff. But it's just such an awesome, that bear he's a good looking bear, isn't he? All right. So, well, thank you, Nancy. So they're very similar, but yet I prefer the cinnamon over the Calypso. So, hey, everybody has their preferences. So, and you might like the Calypso one better. So, anyways, all right. So I'm going to say see you later, and I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, episode 109. If you have any questions at all, make sure you reach out to me, and you can reach me here. If you're a member of the Facebook group, we're a private Facebook group. You can always reach me there. My blog, email, text, just let me know. Because sometimes I blabber and I get confused. I say things that are can be confusing. Surprise, surprise, right? All right, so I'm going to say see you later. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Arizona time, same channel. All right. Oh, he is a good-looking bear. All right, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Night, night. Bye for now.